this video we're going to talk about saving matrix landscapes and also exporting them, and sort of how it kind of works together a little bit. So what I've kind of switched gears technology-wise, and we're looking at some chemistry things. So these are peptides, right, which are proteins, right? So one thing I'm going to do, instead of an analysis of, because I want to save this, so the first thing I want to do is prep it so that it can be saved and ultimately maybe presented to somebody who doesn't know what CO7K is. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to change this, peptides pattern analysis. Keep it all caps. All right, so now that's the name of that top node. And one thing we notice here, it says peptides having more, right? Because we're just taking the first 20 and then sort of finishing the words, than 20 amino acids. Well, we know it's peptides. So here I'm going to call this, I'll call this 20 plus amino acids. ACIDS. And I won't go through the whole thing, but you can see here it's like 5 to 20, right? So I'll just do 2 here. So I'll call this 5 to 20. And there's another one, it says 20 plus, and then there's like, here's the small ones, containing up to 4, right? So very small ones. But let's just leave this. And so by the way, so there's our kind of our 4 plus. So I'm going to drag these over. And let's see, there's my 20. I want my 5 to 20 in between. All right, so it's dragging over everything. And so, and I could go through and sort of clean up these nodes so that they present a little bit better. All right, so now I'm going to save it. When I choose Save Matrix, right, it's actually going to just save it by whatever I have on the top node. So if I go to my Matrix Query Manager, I've got Peptides Pattern Analysis. It's already saved. It's locked because I have it open. All right, so if I close out, it'll unlock. And that just means if I do share it, that somebody else can't grab it. Or they can grab it, but they're going to grab it in a read-only mode. And so they wouldn't be able to edit it, even if I offered that type of sharing. So, so that one has been saved. So let's actually talk about sharing. So we can go here, and this one is currently not shared. So I'm just going to check my share. Pick, I always like to share with Eric. So we'll give him, we'll let him edit it. So I'm going to give him read, write, and save. And so now Eric is going to see this peptides matrix that I've cleaned up and made beautiful in his shared matrices, right? So here's some that he shared with me. Okay, so there is, that's how we can do that. Now, one thing before we get to exporting, so you can save it. And by the way, if I do change it, like peptides pattern analysis, and maybe I want to call it peptide pattern analysis, I'm going to save that. And then when I choose Save Matrix, it's just going to actually save it and change the name. It's kind of neat. I mean, I think it saves a little time. So all I did is remove that S, remember, from peptides. And so now it's peptide. And it's still shared with Eric, right? See the little man and the little matrix icon. Okay, so here's something that you'll have to know about. And that is this wide standard view. So let's flip it to wide view and see what's going on here. And this basically exposes the entire matrix. I'm going to make this really big, really wide anyway. So here's containing up to 4, right? And so we can see how this pink bar? It's got that pink and it goes. And then here's the ones with 20, and then here's all of its children, right? And so we can look, here are the cyclic peptides, and we can look at this landscape by those. So it's this sort of really wide view. It's just opening all of the nodes compared to the standard view, which has the sort of navigation that we've been looking at this whole time, right? The wide view. And the reason I showed you that is because if we export this, so I'm going to go to my search options and then choose my export option and then do my result count. So let's go ahead and just run the export here. And basically, it's going to take the wide view at the various tiers. So here's the Excel spreadsheet. Now this is a spreadsheet, not a CSV. And it should look fairly familiar. So here is my peptides, right, containing up to, and see, it changed my nodes. Remember I changed these two? So those look nice, but this is at depth 0. If I go to depth 1, we have containing only normal, at least one. Again, we would have changed these before it was like ready to export. And then other, they're the ones that are just in this up to 4. Here's our 5 to 20, cyclic, linear peptides containing. We don't know what they contain. Again, we'd want to change those. But it just maps to there, and then here's our third depth. And then this one ran out and went to 250, right? So if we look at here, containing at least one something, and here are the children under that. So basically, the final depth of the spreadsheet exactly maps the wide view, right? It exactly maps the wide view. But the spreadsheet's given to you, flip back over to Excel, is giving to you in sort of, you can effectively drill in by having these 3 depths. So that's how you export it, and you get these counts. And so whatever you export, right, if you applied a filter for just this week, we would see exactly where it is in nice, beautiful English, because you're going to make those changes, and then you can save that out that way to an export and deliver it to your client or whoever. Okay, so that is about it on saving and exporting. It's pretty straightforward. You can save it, you can share it, you can export it. The exports look just like the wide view on the matrix. Hope you like that.